If you've been following the channel for a while now, you know that I do a preview every Sunday or Monday of the Bulls' upcoming games, highlighting the teams we'll face, potential matchup issues or opportunities, and of course, I give my predictions for each game, which, to be honest, I've been kind of terrible at predicting the outcome of games, as evidence in the fact that I thought the Bulls would go 4-0 last week. But that aside, looking forward to this week ahead for the Bulls after that blowout win and bounce back game against the Magic last night. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Bull Central here. Hope you're all doing well. Before I get into the video, YouTube actually provides a host of analytics metrics to understand how your videos and your channel has been performing statistically, and it looks like 76% of you who watch my videos aren't in fact subscribed, which is totally cool. No need to subscribe if the channel doesn't suit you, but if you have been watching the channel more frequently than not, you'll know that I do giveaways on this channel from time to time, such as the most recent winner of the $100 gift card to the NBAstore.com for predicting the score of the Bulls-Knicks game correctly. And there were a lot of people who were bummed they didn't see the video in time to make a prediction. Well, the one way you can ensure you don't miss a video when it's uploaded is by subscribing and hitting the bell notification. It does help me out as well, since you know I don't do the whole Patreon thing. I don't charge fees for memberships or accept donations of any kind. So if you're a fan of the channel, you're already watching most of the videos anyway, then you might as well subscribe so you don't miss out on a giveaway. And speaking of giveaways, guys, because of the popularity of the last one in predicting the score of the Bulls game, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, the same giveaway for the game tomorrow against the Wizards. So if you would like to have a chance at winning a $100 gift card, all you have to do is predict the score of the game tomorrow using the following format so it's clear what the point total is you're predicting for each team. And yes, I'm aware this was the example that was used for the Knicks game, but why reinvent the wheel? So put your score predictions in the comments below. Again, you cannot edit your scores once the game hits tip-off, and I will check any editing for the timestamps just to be sure. Now, in all of my giveaways, I've always just done gift cards to the NBAstore.com because I assume if you're watching the channel, you're a fan of the NBA, but maybe you might be interested in something else. So for this one, I'm actually going to do a community poll, which I'll send out after this video, and I'll ask what store you would like for this giveaway to be among a list of a few options. But anyway, now that we've got that all out of the way, let's get into the Bulls' upcoming schedule this week, going into week 8, which is crazy how fast this season has gone by. So I'll flash up the Bulls schedule here. They have 3 games this week, kicking it off tomorrow against the Wizards, and then they'll take on the Pelicans on Wednesday, and finally the Clippers on Friday. All games will be played at the United Center. So let's start with the game against the Wizards. This is a winnable game, and not even just winnable. The Bulls should win this game because the Wizards are one of the worst teams in the league right now. I know they have Bradley Beal and Westbrook, but whatever they're doing as far as building team chemistry and a system around those two guys, it isn't working. They're 5-4. I believe they're actually playing right now at the time of this recording. But despite Beal putting up ridiculous scoring numbers night in and night out, they can't seem to get wins out of it in most nights. On top of that, Thomas Bryant, their starting center, is out for the season. Not that he was an amazing player by any means, but again, he's their starting center, and that when the Bulls, when they don't have Wendell and they struggle to play defense against strong big men, well, the Bulls should be able to take advantage of that. The Wizards are the worst defensive team in the league in terms of points allowed. They allow 121.2 points per game on average, which is crazy. Now, the Bulls aren't the best defensive team either. We all know that, with maybe, you know, the exception of last night's game. So really, this game will likely be more of a shootout than anything. And if the Bulls can at least try and limit Beal in getting any shots he wants, then they should be able to pull out a win in this one. Beal is going to get his. You know, he's going to get, score 25 points at a minimum. I mean, the guy is already averaging 33 points per game so far this season. But if you can limit his ability to get easy looks, make him earn it, that's what will impact the game. The Bulls have also played the Wizards twice, so in a way, they know what to expect. The Bulls actually got their first 2 wins against the Wizards this season. Now, for the Pelicans on Wednesday, this will be the first time we faced them so far this year. And I have to say, the Pelicans have been a little disappointing for me this season. I actually thought they would be one of the surprise teams in the West that makes it into the playoffs. I mean, they have 2 stars in Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. They made that trade with the Bucks for Eric Bledsoe. Now, granted, he's a downgrade from Drew Holiday, but still not a bad player. They traded Steven Adams for Steven Adams, I should say, and then they also have young rotational players with talent and potential in Lonzo Ball. Although I'm not a Lonzo fan, but I think it can be said that there is talent and potential there if it's actually harnessed. They have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jackson Hayes, Josh Hart. Now, I know the Pelicans are on a 3-game winning streak, so they're maybe starting to turn the tide a little bit on their season, but overall, a bit of a disappointing start for them, just given the pure talent that's on that roster. Either way, I do think this will be a tough game for the Bulls, especially if Lowry is still out by then. I think the Bulls are really going to struggle and not really have an answer for Zion in terms of guarding him, as the Bulls, they really struggle in general in defending strong, quick, athletic big men who are elite on offense. You have Brandon Ingram on top of that. I'm not saying he's a big man, but another all-star caliber player who just received a max extension. I imagine Patrick Williams will probably be guarding Ingram, which will be another tough assignment for him. It will be interesting in this week of games, though, in general, to see if Billy Donovan will actually continue with the small ball lineup, because it actually proved to be pretty successful. But again, that was against a depleted Magic team, and the Bulls really didn't have much of a choice with both Wendell and Lowry being out. And then finally, closing out the week against the Clippers. I mean, this will obviously be another tough game for the Bulls. I know the Bulls played against this team extremely well in LA, but that was also the case against the Lakers in LA, and then look what happened when they came to Chicago. It's all about what Bulls team decides to show up for this one, because the Clippers are one of the best teams in the league. They're strong on both offense and defense. They have one of the best players in the game in Kawhi Leonard. I imagine Patrick Williams will be on him again, which will be great to see given the comparisons that are always made between them in terms of their style of play. So for this game, I mean, I think the key is if the Bulls can replicate the way that they played against the Clippers the first go round and ensure that they stay locked in on defending Kawhi and Paul George, but not only that, making sure they're continuing with the ball and player movement they played last night to force the Clippers to play zone defense and hopefully allow the Bulls to get better, higher percentage shots. Again, rather than playing ISO ball when you're forced to take contested shots, because that's not going to work on a team like the Clippers when you have some of the best defenders in the game guarding those type of plays. I do also suspect the Clippers are going to come out stronger than they did in the game against LA, because I think they realized for them these are games they need to win in order to stay competitive in the playoff seeding in the West, and they almost let that game against the Bulls in LA get away from them. My hope, though, is the Bulls compete well throughout the game and steal it for an upset, since they were so close the last time around. Now, I know I'm usually a little more optimistic in my weekly predictions, hence why I thought the Bulls would go 4-0 last week, which really they should have. Like, we were playing the Knicks and the Magic. But I do think that the Bulls are going to be challenged this week. I think they're likely going to go 1-2 for these 3 games, winning against their first game against the Wizards, but falling to the Pelicans and Clippers, mainly because I think the Pelicans are going to present huge matchup issues for the Bulls down low, and then the Clippers because they're one of the best teams in the league. And even if the Bulls are 100% on their A game, it's still going to be a challenging team to beat regardless, a team of that caliber. Anyway, hope you're all looking forward to this week of games ahead. Don't forget to leave your score prediction for tomorrow's game against the Wizards for a chance to win $100. And as I said, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future giveaways in the future, and if you like Daily Bulls content. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one.